Yes, episode 11. We're back. We're back, and we're feeling good.
Yep, yes, sir. Yep, feeling good.
How are you, Checky?
Yeah, fresh. It's warm in Melbourne today, so
It is.
the weather's heating up.
Very warm.
Ooh.
Hey, boys, massive episode. We've got an absolute fucking legend on the podcast this week.
I think that F-bomb is appreciated.
It's allowed. Don't
Yeah,
big
the
up
king-
like that.
The king of gather round. We're going to have Flanas on, but we'll get into him a little bit later on. Checkman.
There's something a bit different going on in the studio today. I don't know if the listeners at home will be able to see it, but if anyone's watching the vodcast, you guys haven't got any hair on your top lip.
No,
A
well,
little bit naked.
not that I had much to begin with, but we'll get into it a bit later because we've got something much more important coming up.
All right, so just to touch on very quickly, we will touch on cricket later on.
We didn't play in the Force this
No.
week, so we don't really have a massive recap to do because, Trey, you were 13th man.
I might have been 15th, man, seriously. There was a lot of blokes picked before me. if we were gonna
So
get
Will
played.
and myself went up to the thirds. We've had to call in the big guns, and I think we will discuss cricket with him because he is an ultimate Ressie of the cricket world. And we'll get into our interview with Flanas.
Right, boys, we didn't muck around much at the start because we just wanted to get stuck in to the guest of
Straight
the
to the
podcast
point.
this week. We are sitting next to the one, the only, Tommy Flanas.
Yes! We're clapping.
Thanks, boys. Great to be here.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, been watching the podcast closely over the last month or so since you guys started. It's
Glad someone's
it's great to
doing
be
it.
on.
glad someone's ticking over the plays. But you're wearing a very, very interesting kit, and I love it.
A great kid.
A very great
This
kit.
is
Can you
all
tell
time.
the listeners at home what you are repping?
So this is my all-time favourite kit. It's the 2003 ING Cup Victoria.
Oh, I love the
jersey.
ING.
It's got the big bush ranger on the side.
Oh.
Signed by the 2003 team as well, so it holds a very dear place.
I
in
was
my
1
heart.
year old when that team played.
Is that
Makes me feel young.
is that from the hit the sign days?
Yeah, back then. Yeah, Brad Hodge
I
hit it
would
once.
love to hit the sign days. Oh,
They were elite.
We need to get the sign out at our Ressies games, I reckon.
I'll hit
See if
it.
Trey can hit it.
I can hit it.
I think we need to bring it back. Bring our own sign and just hit it.
Well,
All right.
For those at home that don't know who Flanas is, maybe a little bit about yourself before we get into the pod. I mean, we'll bring up what we know you for, but just give us, if you had to give someone a quick recap on who you are and you've never met him, maybe you're stuck in a lift with them for 30 seconds and they go, what's your story?
I don't know. I guess bloke who loves his cricket, loves his footy, loves his mates, loves his family. Tries to be a good fella to go and have a beer with, and try and do the best I can at all the things that I've had a crack at in life, and hopefully people see me that way.
See that, Checkers? I'm just ticking all of them off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
I
last
think
summer
exactly
he
who
would
he
have
is.
been just one of us.
Yeah, pretty
He
much.
just fits the Ressies mould perfectly. We bumped into you gather around for the very first time ever, myself and Shrey. I don't know
Yep.
if you bumped into Flanas before that, Will.
No, that
was the first time. First
time.
interaction, and you were wearing this big sexy Guernsey with 18 clubs stitched into it.
I love that.
And you were just running amok
Oh.
at Adelaide. It was our home turf,
Yeah.
and you invaded it. And I mean, I've listed down here in our run sheet, you got access to the Premier, you're in the front page of the newspaper, the Advertiser in Adelaide, and you even got kicked off the Adelaide Oval Hill for sculling chalky milk. So you were there for a whole 5 days, and you've just turned the state upside down.
It was a great introduction to South Australia. I love the place and can't say a bad word about it. I've only been there for those few days of gather round, and everyone got around me.
It was really like
tough time.
playing in like a premiership with someone, and then like you don't see it for 10 years. Well, we haven't seen you since, really.
Yeah.
But you feel like you're still like, we just made that much of a connection on the Adelaide Oval Hill that it was like you bump into him and you feel like it was yesterday.
It was a good night we had at the end of gather round.
Yes.
We had a few beverages at the Moseley.
Yeah,
and,
we just had to let loose after. That was a big week. That was a big week.
no chalky milks because you did get kicked off the hill for sculling. Just quickly before we
Yes.
move on, the chalky milk on the hill, what happened there? Because I mean, I haven't been kicked out for chalky milk sculling yet, but we've been threatened a few
We've been
times.
very close.
I don't know. I think there was a lot of people just sort of zoning in on that jumper, and it was pretty loud kit that I had on, and I think there were a few eyeballs on me already before I started doing the milk, and then the shoe came out, and one of the
So you went the
security
shoey?
guards, and it wasn't a particularly fresh shoe either. Shoe that had some
Those
runs on the
5
board.
days
They
of the
never
woolshed.
are.
5 days. Yeah, jeez.
They never are.
But I was just about to put it to the lips. You were there, standing there watching, and just as I got it to there, some bloke grabbed my arm and said, "Nah, you're out." And
Boom.
Seriously,
Gather
Shame
round guy
on-
got kicked out of gather round.
Shame
How
on
many
them.
minutes to go and gather around?
It was literally just on the final sign record. What, 90 seconds before
you
the end
did
of the
9
last game.
games.
Got to the end of all the 9 games, and the last one. See you
He
later.
just had enough. He was just sick of it.
Yeah.
He needed to take something home.
I reckon
Are there
that's a crime.
any plans to return to Adelaide Oval Hill?
Absolutely.
Should we go for cricket this summer? I was going to put the invite out after this pod.
We
but
might as well.
I'm thinking last year we run amok on the hill, and you can get away with a bit more during cricket season.
Well, I've never stayed in the actual Adelaide Oval Hotel. I'd love to do that.
Neither, but
one
I
night.
mean,
I reckon
No, we live there, man. That's probably why. But
it looks like a great spot to watch a game of cricket.
I
up
feel
there.
like if you had a few cans on the hill, you can't get lost. That's probably a good solution.
Yeah.
and that's the best place of all. I'm
Who
sure the
always
hotel's
playing
nice, but
Adelaide?
it's nothing better than the hill.
West Indies, I
West
believe.
Indies.
So it's not going to
Okay.
last for that long. It'd be a very quick trip
That'll be
over.
a 2-day test.
One day maybe.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
But we can get the chalky milk out at least and let Flanas have his shoey that he never got. The gather
Redemption.
at Guernsey. Do you want to run us through a little bit about that? I mean, we know the background of it. Maybe the listeners don't, but it was such an iconic piece of gathering. But I'd say it's one of the more iconic, the top 5 things that happen in gather round. I'd say Flanas
Yeah.
Guernsey.
Thanks, boys. Well, it wasn't my idea. I can't take too much credit for it. The sports vet guys just thought I'd look the best in it, so they made it up for my size. Thanks. Made it up for my size, and all 18 clubs on it, and flaunted that around at all 9 games, and just tried to get on the telly. Held up a few signs. All teams should merge, and just silly things like that. And got a bit of publicity, and the guys at work were happy with that.
For anyone who has not tuned in or doesn't know what we're talking about, it was a Guernsey, 18 different Guernseys, was it? They got cut up and stitched into one mega Guernsey.
Yeah, it was done by an amazing designer. I can't remember her name for the life of me at the moment, but wonderful designer. Cut up all the 18 jumpers individually and grabbed like the best, I guess the most notable pieces out of each jumper and found a spot on the Guernsey to stitch them all in. I think the base of it was a Carlton jumper. So there's like a little patch of blue, and you can see from the stitching that's the lowest level of stitching. I don't know how you phrase that in sewing terms, but then all the other jumpers got their parts stitched on over the top, and it was a good masterpiece, I thought.
Do you still have
the designer?
Do you still have that in your possession?
I don't. I think it's very valuable to Sportsbet, and they may want to run it again at some stage. So
Have they washed it? Did you wash it at all that weekend?
No, I wouldn't have watched it. That's a little bit...
There's a couple of signatures on it, so I'm not sure whether they would have washed it, but it would be my recommendation to do so.
Yeah, maybe just give it... Maybe a hand wash, something, a cold wash, cold cycle.
Well, we'll wind back a little bit from Gather Round. We didn't know you at this point personally, but where did it all begin? Where did the content start? Because you've become a Ressies icon through your skits, your Instagram comedy, the videos that we see. Obviously, you're in the sports bet and the grubs. For those playing at home, it's pretty much the Ressies, Div 12 Ressies before the Div 12 Ressies existed. They were the founding fathers of the Ressies community.
Walked so the Div 12 could run.
But where did your content journey start? And where did your Ressies content start?
I've always loved footy and cricket, so I've always wanted to do something in that space. I've always kind of liked entertaining and presenting and talking about sport, so I've always sort of wanted to be somewhere around the space I'm in. Probably Max Price, who's a pretty notable content
smart
creator.
guy.
He's on doing TikTok and Instagram reels, and he's
He's
produced
behind
a
the
lot of
scenes
shows.
of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly right.
He was behind the scenes of our Fox Footy longest kick for anyone
Yes.
playing at home. He was a big helping hand in getting us on to the longest kick. So
Yep, and he was at Sportsbet at the time when I was probably like, I don't know, 19 or 18, 19, and just finished school, and we went to school together, and he goes, "Oh, Flanas, you're a pretty funny guy. Why don't you come and do a sports bet skit? We got this rugby union promo for the Rugby Union World Cup that was coming up," and I did that, and I guess the people who were picking the guys for content liked that vid and got me back for a few more, and I'm still there all these years later. That's a long time ago now,
Long standing.
2008. But I guess that's where it all started. But always loved footy, like always commentated footy when I was a kid, like school footy and local footy since I was like 13. And just wanted to be in that sort of presenter, commentator, broadcaster, actor, entertainer, sort of whichever one of those sort of space. And found my way to, I guess, what I'm doing now.
Yeah, definitely. And then
Perfect
the grubs,
slot.
when did that kick up?
Grubs was, let's see, probably... I don't know, like 7 or 8 years ago, I reckon. Maybe even 10 years ago, we started doing the first few of those. I wasn't involved in the first few, but the guys at Sporty, who I've worked with in the content team, they're like, "You love your cricket, so we'll throw you into a couple of these," and then sort of became a staple of it. And then
You seem like the most natural fit, to be honest. Like, no offense to the other blokes, but when I watch the grubs content, I think Flanas is the most iconic.
Yeah,
Grubs,
definitely.
like he fits
100%.
the mold of what I'd expect a grub. No offense. I mean, we're throwing it in a room around where we would all fit the
Bit of
grubs.
stone in a
Hopefully,
glass house getting thrown, isn't it?
But I feel like if he's an iconic grub, like you just fit the mold of an average third or fourth grade player in cricket everywhere all around the country.
And I guess that's the secret to the videos. I've just played myself.
Yeah.
All of them, and that's been the character that's evolved. It's got a little bit of an exaggerated version of myself at times, but yeah, a lot of the things that the character Flanas does in those Grubs videos, the real Flanas likes to do in real life.
There you go.
Most definitely. Have you got like a favourite moment from doing content, or like someone big that you've had in your content pieces?
Well, we've done a lot with like ex-cricketers like Merv Hughes and Damien Fleming and these sort of guys. Tommy Morris came in and did some skits on Fox Sports, done stuff with Will Sparks.
Jeez.
Big names.
Just some names.
But probably gets most joy I've ever had out of doing content was earlier this year when we got to go overseas and go to the India Test Series and then go to the Ashes, and they sent us over there to do Grubs content. Go to Wimbledon and go to Royal Ascot, which are just...
You guys were away, that's why I haven't seen you. Because
you were away
you
from
been in the
like
country.
Like we've bailed on the country and
I
just
feel
got
like
back
it
now.
was it 3 to 6 months? It felt like forever.
We went to India for a month, and then we went to England for a month. So
Jeez, too. It felt way longer than that, I swear.
I think there was a month in between, and there was gather round was in the middle of it.
Yep.
So
There you go.
But there was a lot of content pushed out, and there was a busy
happening.
time of the year, especially for yourself. Like, you did a lot of different pieces, and you were the centerpiece of a lot of different pieces. Well, the biggest person you bumped into, I mean, Will bumped into a bit. Is there one that really stands out, like that you just like? That's my holy grail. Like
doing that music video with Will Sparks was pretty cool.
Definitely.
That's one of the most outrageous pieces of content. I don't know if you've seen the bowler's name video clip. But
so it was a Will Sparks track that he made, and you guys were in the back of the music video.
Yeah, and there's a few like sound bites of stuff that we've said in some of the.
So you were in the track.
I don't actually get any vocals in the track, but I am in the video clip. Unfortunately, there's a good shot of me like sculling cordial towards the end of the clip, so I do get a better airtime visually. But no, I didn't get any of my quotes in the. I don't actually have that many, I guess, quotes. Some of the other guys, Hammy's got bowler's name, and I don't think I've got.
You just got the dance moves.
It's
fair. So it's a non-speaking role. It's Australia plays that role very well. He just loves doing the dance moves at full forward. And for speaking wise though, he talks really fast, so we can't get him speaking a lot. We just have to get him dancing a lot.
A lot of dancing, a lot of hips moving.
You do it well.
Yeah. Wow.
You travelled a bit this year, like so. You said India and England. Has it been like somewhere in the world? I mean, you've got we just do local stuff. You've gone international. You've Mr. Worldwide over here of the content and Ressies content game. Is there like some place or some moment in that like travelling where you've just been like, how did I land myself here?
The biggest pinch me was probably it's the first test that I went to overseas. Like my whole life, I've just loved cricket so much. I've always wanted to go to an overseas test match. And, when we went to India, first time being overseas since I was a kid as well, like we arrived there, we're 2-0 down.
Yeah, jeez.
We're like, okay, we're here to do content, and now no one's interested in the series anymore. We're getting near halfway through a dead series. And then to go to indoor, the test was actually meant to be in Dharamshala, which is up in near the Himalayas and the border on the northern part of India. A beautiful part, and there's great weather and a lot of lovely scenery and whatnot. We're meant to go there. But then a week out before the third test match, it got moved to indoor.
Was that because the pitch was really bad?
I think it was waterlogged. There was heaps of rain, just the whole test got washed out. So they just sent it down to indoor, which we had to readjust all our flights and hotels and all that stuff at the last minute to go there. But I wouldn't change that for the world. It was the best. We went there, and Nathan Lyon comes out in 40-degree heat and takes 8 for 50 and rolls through India. In India, it's my first overseas test, and you've got 30,000 Indian fans screaming every time they do something well. And then when Australia does something well, you just hear me just go, yeah, guys, that's all we can hear. Everyone else goes silent. So that was a pretty amazing experience. And then after that test finished, we got invited back to the players' hotel room, had a beer with Travis Head and Ronnie McDonald, the coach. And so if there was one pinch me moment, it was probably that one.
Yeah, some of the greats there. Travis
I remember seeing the photos or videos with you and Cheats with Trav Head. Yeah. Cheats has brought up with me a few times, but that just looks like insane. Just like, because you're over there, how many Aussie fans do you reckon were in that crowd? If you said maybe like 80,000 people there?
Yeah, I'd say maybe it's probably 40,000 stadium or 35,000 stadium. I reckon there's maybe 200 Australians in the whole ground. We're all probably in the same bay.
And you sort of merge into the cheers. Like, you merge into the touring party. Like, it's like when Gold Coast travel or GWS travel to Vic. Sometimes the supporter base is almost travelling on the same plane as the team, and they're sort of travelling with the team, and they become one. So
I guess it felt like that. I guess you've got a common ground over there with the guys because, you're all Aussies and you're all in a foreign part of the world, and, they're playing the game and trying to win matches for Australia, where they're grinding through the 30 days doing our content. But the conditions are trying, so everyone feels that, and you've got that common ground of being Aussies, and we're all here for the same cause to support or play in the Aussie cricket team. So it's great that they were able to give us a chance to come and meet him after the game, especially after Hetty had just, like, that morning he'd smacked like a match-winning 50 at the end of the indoor test match, and then a couple of hours later having a beer with him and Ronnie. It's just, surreal sort of stuff.
Pinch yourself moment, definitely. But
pretty cool.
Sure.
Have you kept in contact with any of them, or that was just a one-timer?
I've spoken to Hetty a couple of times on Instagram.
At 4 a.m, or just that?
Hetty's an all-time man. He's great.
He's just an absolute ripper. And so are a lot of the guys. I mean, I've had some amazing experiences in cricket. But after the Vicks won the Shield in 2019, I was in the rooms. Seb Gotch, who was the wicket keeper, is a great mate of mine.
We're hoping to get him on a future app.
He's an absolute legend. I'm playing with him down at Sorrento this year. He's the head coach. He's doing his first year of head coaching. But he got me into the rooms after the Vicks won the Shield in 2019, and that was good fun. Being in there and having a couple of beers with the boys and celebrating the Vicks winning the Shield, and just met various different cricketers over random things like that over the years where I've just had an opportunity to be involved, and they're all great blokes and
just slid on in. You're almost like the 13th man. Just sliding on into this team, just sliding into the Aussie team.
Hetty did say, "I can hear you up there. You don't shut up." Like after the indoor test, it's like after every ball, I can just hear this. It's great.
So who was the most vocal? Because you had Hammy, Cheats. Who else was in that India touring party?
At the ground is probably me, but Hammy's the biggest cricket nut of all time.
Hammy, I find, would be sharp. Cheats has got like all the gags, and I feel like you'd just be the boisterous, like loud,
just carry on,
obnoxious sort of Australian they'd expect.
So you're pulling the right strings.
And you'd have Hammy feeding your gags, and Cheats feeding your gags all day, and you'd just be the one voicing them.
And that's half of everything that we do. If I'm stuck for something, Hammy's just like, say this. He's the best. He's an absolute genius. He's that quick, and so is the rest of that Sportsbet team. I'm lucky to be part of that. Just fell into it, and they look after me pretty well with writing lines that suit my character and whatnot. So it's pretty cool.
Well, we obviously just heard there you're playing cricket with Sorrento under the great man Seb Gotch. What other Ressies journeys have you taken? Have you played footy?
We talked about your sporting journey off the field as the Grubs.
We want to know Flanas on the field.
What's the on-field Flanas like?
All right. Well, played junior footy for Ormond and at school for Caulfield. Was a little forward pocket. Was pretty sharp with the skills. Good with a 30-metre stab pass. Anything like under 30 metres, hit a forward on the lead, and pretty silky around goals. Not the greatest pressure forward though.
Yeah.
Not laying a lot of tackles.
Cares?
I'm looking in a mirror. I'm looking in a mirror. This is me.
Who wants to lay a tackle? No one likes laying tackles.
You guys can all be on the same rotation, I reckon.
I literally was. There's two other guys like me in the junior team and similar to us.
Perfect.
Yeah, floated in and out of that forward pocket. Won a flag for Ormond in the juniors, under 14 West Premiership 2003. Didn't get a minute on the ground.
Oh, jeez.
But got a medal. I was on the interchange.
Yes.
I played well in the semi-final, but I probably not as... It was a really tight game, won by 2 points, and I wasn't most disciplined pressure forward, as I said. So the coach is like, if we get up by a couple of goals, I'll get you on the ground. Didn't eventuate, but still got a medal.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the best part about it.
What were you doing on the bench when it come to 3 or 4 quarter time? Did you giving up hope, or were you trying to get in the coach's face and warm up a little bit?
I'm stretching and doing these ones. Just going, ready to go, mate. Ready to go. You know, he's like, we'll try. We'll try.
Where do you want me, coach? Where do you want me? Get told.
Might just go for a light jog up and back 5 times in front of the coach.
Back, few calf raises, anything to get it done.
Put me on the ruck, mate.
What about your cricketing journey coming through the ranks?
Cricket, well, I played Milo cricket when I was like 5. Just loved cricket the whole way through. The first time I saw it, probably didn't like it. I got a PlayStation for Christmas one year, and my family wanted to watch the Ashes. And I was like, no, I want to play the PlayStation. Being a little petulant little shit, but eventually started watching that test match. It was a great test match. And Darren Goff took a hat-trick at the G, and Dean Headley took 6 wickets a long time ago. These 98 Ashes tours, first match I ever watched, and from then it's just hooked to cricket. And then as a player, started shortly after that, playing for Ashburton Willows, who play in the ECA.
Oh, yep.
You guys playing for Richmond.
Same comp.
Same comp. Down in the Lock 3, Lock 4, Lock 5.
Oh, that's a bit,
sort of
high, a bit higher than us.
That's pretty high for us. We're not reaching for those stars yet.
And yeah, played juniors there. Stopped playing school cricket when I was like 15 in year 9 through to year 12. Did the scoring for our first 11 because I wanted to watch first 11 APS cricket because we had guys like James Pattinson and Johnny Holland and stuff, in the other teams. And
Is that where you got the Vic connection from? Is there any of those boys that you connected to? Have you bumped into them since?
I bumped into them since and said that I scored you. I did the dots.
Did they
back in the
remember?
day. I don't think they remember.
It's a hard gig. No one remembers the
No
scorer.
one respects the scorers.
No one respects the scorer.
Such a thankless job these days.
But it was great back then. You get Fridays off school. Like they play 2 days. So after period 1 finished, the bus would take you down to Geelong and you'd just be gone for the rest of the day. You wouldn't have to do the last 4 periods of school. It's just
It's a bit of a cheat code there.
And you're watching just elite cricket as well. The guys who are going to come and be Premier Ones or come up and play Shield cricket in a few years' time. Meg Lanning scored her. She played in the ones, and I remember that day, I was sitting there with the Carey guys, and it's the first time I'd ever seen a girl playing in guys cricket, particularly at that level, which is pretty high level. And I was like, oh, geez, you've got a girl opening the batting. How are you guys going this year? And the guys are like, no, watch out for Meg. She'll smack you guys everywhere. And she did. Our best bowler, James Foote and Tilly Armin, they were both bowling 120s at the high end, maybe 130s. And they were real rapid. Footy hit me in the nuts one day. So, those guys bowling real rapids, and Meg was just cleaning them up everywhere, sending them to every part of the ground. She made 50, and then she came out and bowled our best bat, Tom Breen. And I didn't say another word about
that's it.
A girl playing in the ones. That was my first introduction.
We had a girl playing in
girls
the...
could definitely play cricket.
in the thirds on the weekend. I didn't get to face her, but Will faced a lot of her. She opened the bowling and then batted at 3, and I think she made 40 odd.
She made 40 odd with her dad batting at the other end.
Her dad made
70.
We weren't bowling 120 rapids like your openers were, but I was like, she's only 15 or 16, and I was like, this is one to watch. Put her in the Vic squad in a few years. Will's just faced the future opening bowler of the Vic Bushrangers women's side.
And that's one of the great things about playing local cricket as well. You always see some stars of the future come through. You're probably always going to stay in those low grades.
Here we go. Tell us who's come through the ranks. I want to go around the room. I mean, Will... And I don't know if Shrey's played enough cricket to have this, but who's the most famous cricketer you maybe played a game with growing up?
Played with.
Or against. You can put it in that category.
Or against. Like I said, with scoring, we had a lot of high quality guys. I didn't play against them. I always played in pretty low grades. I was
no juniors or anything? You didn't play with any gun juniors at school or anything?
I played with some handy guys, but they were not generally in my age group. I was usually playing with them at training. Say a guy like Gotchi, he was a few years below me. So we didn't really play together. But yeah, it was more the scoring side of things where I got in contact with a lot of those Victorian players. Tom Lynch, who used to play for Adelaide.
Oh, yeah.
St Kilda.
North Melbourne assistant coach.
A lot of pointing.
That's it. Pattinson and Holland and all these sort of guys.
And
Meg Lanning, yeah. So scoring those guys was and girls, pretty awesome time. But I can't really think of anyone I've played against.
Something the Ressies hold on to. They loved it when the chats at the club when you finish the day's play, and you always hear it come out I used to play on the same team as Ricky Ponting, or and they hold on to it. Maybe they played one game under 14s and they subfielded or something, but they'll hold on. Yeah, and Ricky Ponting used to play together back in the day.
And there's guys that actually Grant Swift and Rob Cooper who played District Ones and probably could have gone and played Victorian cricket, very solid first grade cricketers, but that's probably the highest level that I've played alongside. Yeah,
played with Spencer Johnson and Harry Nielsen, but I didn't bat or bowl, and they opened the bowling and batting. So I was nowhere near it. But that was under 14s. But we bumped into them since,
ones to play with,
and they still remember it. So we bumped into Spencer and we did a torpedo with him recently, and he's a good lad. He's obviously killing it at the moment. He's
on fire.
A long journey, but he's probably in line to almost play for Australia now. So it's been a crazy journey to watch.
He's almost the next one in. Henry Thornton's another one that he's playing rapidly as well.
There's a few that are kicking
Spencer would be right there.
He's going to have a big bash season, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Willie, you played with any superstars back in your time?
Well,
I saw you looking up something on Google Images just before. What was
yeah,
that?
I was just looking up a good friend of mine. He's become a good friend of mine through playing a lot of cricket against him and coaching a lot of cricket against him. A young kid named Oliver Peake, who's from Geelong. He was just recently named the Vic Country skipper for the under-17s, and he's been doing that since he was 13.
So he's going to play
So he's
great.
going to play for Australia. His dad, Clinton Peake, back in the day, was a handy middle order batsman for Victoria. Ollie Peake, I played him when he was 13, and I was playing under-17s cricket, and he put everyone to the fence, and it was disgusting. Like, he'd play Friday night, he'd play Saturday, he'd play Sunday, and he'd make tons for fun.
That's the moralising sort of
And
stuff.
it was just like
young Willie.
young Willie steaming in, bowling his little seam wobblers and just getting pulled for fours and sixes by this 13-year-old kid.
You played him in a form.
I pretty much played him in a form, yeah.
Jeez.
And then 2 years later, I was coaching against him, and the boys were like, "What do we do to him?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know, boys. I couldn't do it, so you can't do it either."
I guess when you play Ressies cricket, you just really got to love the game. You've got to come and bowl against those guys, and they just take you to town every time. Sometimes when you're just a standard below, you're just never going to get these sort of guys out. But you kept giving it a crack.
One of the boys back home has still to this day tells everyone that he got Ollie Peake out in a game. When the game had pretty much been done and dusted, he took his scalp later on with a pretty shit house.
Caught a boundary or something? Or?
No, sneaking off with the worst ball you've ever seen. Just a little half tracker outside off that just had no pace behind it
Nothing on
whatsoever.
But I don't reckon I played with any good cricketers.
No, I didn't play a heap of cricket growing up.
No,
Maybe footy. You had a few footy
I played
representatives.
against Jackson Haley.
Yeah, you were a Central Districts boy, and
I played with... Jeez, I don't even know. Jackson Haley's one of the best player I played against.
and he's just been delisted. But I love
Stiff.
Jackson Haley. He's
Yeah,
probably
Haley's
stiff.
good.
He's a first round draft pick.
Yeah.
No
that'd be
knock on
about
Jackson
it.
Haley. What about your current season, Flanas? We talk about you growing up, juniors scoring. You're currently playing. You're back on the field. Is it a comeback? How long have you had off? Because you were travelling
It's
lots.
been a few years since I won back-to-back bowling awards and took a 7 for at Ashy. So playing for Sorrento this year. So made my debut for Sorrento, the Sharks, Mighty Sharks, under Sevi. So I followed him down there. I'd follow him off a cliff.
Did you get a recruitment post?
Sorry?
Did you get like a sign-on post?
The handshake, Sebi.
There was a there was a fourth 11 debut post that said Flanas.
Oh, yeah,
One of those
debut.
Instagram tiles saying,
Love that.
So yeah, I'm getting going again. The leggies are feeling pretty good. I only got to bowl the one over. I came on when the captain only brought me on when there was 5 runs to win. I thought
sounds like Trey.
Yeah, the exact same thing happened to me last week, and I got hit for 20 off the over. Jeez.
But no, it's not Jason's fault. He's a great man, and he didn't know that I could actually roll them out, so that's why he probably held me back a little while. But yeah, ready to go to bowl some 8 over spells when I get a chance. Won't play this weekend. I'm doing a Bogan Bingo show this Saturday night, so can't play because it's very far away. Sorrento's there, and the show's up in Coldstream, long way away.
I feel like Sorrento's a fair trek from where we are at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an hour from here if you get a good run with the traffic. So, but on Saturday morning, it's you get pretty good
fair
traffic.
crack.
It's only an hour down there, and I just love that part of the world. It's great down on the peninsula.
Well,
Good pump up. It's good pump
Sorrento's
up.
great.
We are yet to visit.
We haven't driven too far for cricket, but I remember with footy, we used to play probably 40 minutes from home most weeks, and that was a good pump up. You get a Vietnamese roll or a feed in the morning, you eat it in the car. By the time you finish that,
You're in all sorts.
you're ready.
You're asking questions.
You've studied the form and you're ready to go.
Read the paper.
Definitely get down the peninsula. I reckon it's worth heading down there and playing a game of cricket. I don't know if Richmond City will be playing any games down that way.
No.
But
I think we play. So in our comp, we have 3 teams that share our home ground,
So we
and
just
they're
play
all in the
one
same
every
comp.
week.
And there's a 4-team comp.
yeah,
So we are at the same oval pretty much every
Every
week for
week.
SSC. We can play away like
14
twice.
comp. I haven't heard of that.
Six-team comp.
6-team.
It's a 6-team
It was 6,
comp.
Couple
Two.
pulled out. 2 pulled
So
out.
No, it was an 8-team
It was
comp.
8 and then out
Okay.
6.
So
So
we
we
played the
had-
same team like 5 weeks in a row,
we played the team we played last week. We're playing again this week.
and then again in 3 weeks, and again in 2 more weeks.
So at least you know your opposition.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
handy.
Oh,
You
they
can do
beat
oppo
us,
enough.
They're a bunch of 13-year-olds, and they're really good at cricket.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll play for Victoria one day.
Yeah, I hope so because he bowled me.
So are you a bowler or a batter? Because you've said you bowl the leggies, but you haven't mentioned the batting yet.
Probably with good reason. No, on my highest score, I played that many games of cricket. It's pretty embarrassing. My highest score all time, juniors and seniors, is 20. And they never made more than 20.
This year's the year.
20's hard to get to.
I'm hoping this is the year. I did like the pace of the bowlers in coming up against the Sorrento Force the other week. So hopefully I can get a hold of a few, and this can be the year where I knock up a 30 or a 40 or maybe even that elusive 50 that I've always wanted but never got anywhere near.
For a long time throughout my cricketing, my high score was like a 40, and that was when I was facing just donkey drop spinners. And then once you finally crack through the 50, like everything just feels like it's clicked for you.
Mine's 20. Mine was 20 until I played senior cricket. My whole junior career, I played a lot of cricket as well, like probably 150, 200 games, and my high score was 20, all through juniors. And then I played seniors.
To be fair, you were...
Get a bit more confident. Yeah, I was... In juniors, they just push into whatever you're doing. If you're bowling, you don't get a bat. If you're batting, you don't get a bowl. It's like... Whereas when you play seniors, you get a bit of everything, so...
Well, I guess that's probably a contributor as well, because I'd always just put up my hand for bowling and just say, give me my 8 overs, or 40 over games. So if you give me my 8 over spell, I don't care if you bat me at 11 every week. So that was probably part of why I didn't bat a lot and get a lot of high scores. I come in at 10 or 11 and make a quick fire 14, and then... So
you're a bit of a slower. I was going to say, what's your batting style? Because Shrey has decided he's just going to become the T20 expert.
Yeah.
Whereas we'll open on the weekend and is a bit more of the... He's probably going to be the pusher singles.
I'm a bit more of a traditionalist.
Justin Langer, and over here we've got Kieran Pollard.
I've been practicing the back of the bat shot. Someone played in the World Cup and I watched it, so I'm trying to perfect the back of the bat shot.
So where would you slide in? What's your technique? Who would you compare yourself to?
I've tried that shot throw just quickly. It's a very difficult shot to master.
I reckon I'm going to get it. I'm going to practice the nets all Thursday this week, and I'm going to play it on Saturday.
But to answer your question, Check, I reckon as a batter, there's a bit of Virendra Sehwag, just no feet, just stand and
we are very simple, Flanas. You're speaking my language, brother. No foot movement, stand and deliver, Rakeem Cornwell operation. No singles, I don't want to hear about it.
Just eye, hands, and if it doesn't work, oh well.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
If I'm out, see you later, I'm going to reply.
And then as a bowler, probably, I don't...
Do you toss them up? Do you put a bit of flight in?
Look, it's hard to compare yourself to the greatest bowler of all time, but a very, 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 very poor man, Shane Warne. I just copied his bowling, just watched all his DVDs, watched all his VHS tapes, just all his variations. I had his little yellow ball that had like the markings of fingers and used to like try and roll out all the different deliveries. My flipper's not that good, but I can bowl a little bit of a wrong and bowl a bit of a slider. And just vary up the flight and the pace. Got a little bit of dip and a little bit of drift through the air when I'm bowling well, and I get a little bit of fizz on it. So
you got the flipper, the doojra.
The flipper's a hard one because it's underneath and like with the thumb. I've never been able to. I've
never understood how a man's hand does that sort of work. I'll never will.
What did you call it the other day? We were
a doorza by accident.
Yeah, doorza. Doojra. He goes, oh, you're going to bowl a doorza.
I just put an extra R in there. It was
on the field again. We'll go back off the field. We started with off the field. We went on field. Afternoon tea table. Ooh. What do you bring? What do you go to? Mm-hmm. We haven't had to bring afternoon tea yet this year, so we're looking for some recommendations. Trey hasn't brought afternoon tea for 10 years.
No, never.
Never before.
My mum was a big fruit.
His mum used to do it, so it's his first time.
So it was always oranges or the watermelon. I'm a big watermelon man, so it was always the watermelon. Get the quarter watermelon at Woolies, $4. Slice that one up. The whole team's enjoying it.
Yep, that's a nice cheap option. You need that hydration.
Yeah, exactly right.
You've been out there in the field for 40 overs. Watermelon's the perfect treat.
And you've not put sunscreen on, and you've got heat stroke already.
And you had a little bit hung from the night before.
You've had about 10 cans the night before.
But the one I like as well is the grade that we play at. You've often, as we touched on earlier, you've got a few juniors in there. And what often comes with juniors is you've got like a mum of one of the junior players who makes like all these awesome chicken and avocado and these sandwiches, like the sandwiches that the mums make and bring to the spread. Like you don't get that if you're in a team of like just all middle to older.
No, they're just grabbing whatever's in the Woolies bakery section.
Pizza shapes, cheese and bacon rolls, like all your classic staples. But yeah, if you've got a junior there, usually one of the mums brings down some good sandwiches, and you can't beat those.
Should we recruit a 14-year-old so his mum can make us some nice sandwiches?
We should recruit a mum. We need to find a dedicated mum out there who wants to come make sandwiches for our cricket team.
I'd like some ham, cheese, tomato sandwiches.
Be the Ressies
mum. Lettuce.
Be the mum of the Ressies.
Someone just cook us meals, please.
We're playing our first home game as such this week. I think the club does like a buy-in, and I'm not a fan of it. It's like we have to pay money and someone goes and organises the whole spread.
Ooh.
But I like the variation. I like the idea that 11 blokes come together and put their brains together like individually and just put whatever's on the table. Like it's like
Yeah, everyone's got their own.
everyone's got
flavour
their
and-
one thought on the table, and we just see what the table looks like at the end of it. But
And then you
I
can
don't know
rate-
about that. The danger. That's dangerous. Like everyone just throws their credit card in a bucket. and someone picks it out and buys the whole spread.
Yeah,
Like,
nah.
that's.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'd
but
be
I
ready
think
to cop that.
we've got a guy in our team who's like a chef, so he was like, I'm going to chef up. But I like the idea of like some weeks you could have like a really good spread, and some weeks it's all like TikTok biscuits from
Some weeks I want to eat 6 ham and cheese rolls, and some weeks maybe I do want a little bit of
I used to
chicken
take
and
a lot of
chips.
pride in my afternoon teas. I feel like last season I played, I brought an ice cream cake.
Yeah, that's
One
it.
week I brought 24 chocolate milks. Like I'll spend a fair bit of cash, but it's the best part of the week. I was
Yeah,
looking
it
like
is.
I was almost like all week thinking about what can I bring this week.
And it's a big asset to the club having a spread guy who's just real committed to making sure that the
I'm
spreads
sure
are
there's
good.
blokes that get into an 11 because they're the spread guy.
Yeah.
They can't bowl, can't back, can't field, but
It-
they bring the spread.
definitely
It should be in
be-
the fifth, but the third's captain's like, no. We
Yeah,
need
we need your wife's cooking because clearly.
I'm thinking like as you get older and you get like shitter at cricket and your skills start to fade away, I feel like that is a draw card. Is
Yeah.
1, cold beer at the end of the day, 2, the races on the TV when you get out early, and
Yeah.
then 3, the spread. It's like, oh, I can spend a whole day away from the missus and the kids and just eat food, sandwiches, watch races and drink piss.
And drink free beers that some other blokes bought.
I don't care about getting hit none for 150 off 8 as long as the food's good.
Exactly right.
Oh, well, I have in the notes, we have something coming up with the future with your content. I've seen on Instagram episode 1 of What's Gone On.
Yes.
You want to give a big plug before we move into the next segment?
Yeah, what's going on? I guess that's just a new concept where I guess I'll do a bit of the news, whatever's been happening in the last couple of weeks or so. I thought it was a pretty versatile sort of concept that I could play around with a bit with so much sport going on and all pretty much geared towards Australian sort of sport. That's the audience that I'm talking to.
And is it mostly Instagram based?
I'll put it up on TikTok as well. So yeah, Instagram or TikTok, you can find that there. And yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with a few new content ideas at the moment, seeing kind of what picks up, what doesn't.
I like it. It was a
I like
tidy
it a lot.
edit, which me and Shay were talking about it on the lounge when we saw it. So Shay
versatile.
wants to do some stuff like that. He was talking about it today in the
Yeah.
kitchen. So
You're tapping into a good market because not
I think
many
'cause
people want to sit down and watch
I'm not
the
watching
6
this
o'clock
never
news.
in my
That's
life.
it.
I
They just
won't do
want the sports part, and they just want
that. I
someone.
want a minute of some bloke telling me what's happening in the sports.
they
'cause I
want the
missed
Channel
it.
10 play of the day.
That's all I want. I just want a minute of sports and tell me what's happening because I've missed half of it.
That's why everyone loves Nick
I don't-
Butler.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't want to hear about bloody, politics. I don't want to hear about that. I just want to hear about the sports. And that's
Exactly right.
encapsulated perfectly, I reckon.
Hopefully what's going on does deliver that. I'll
Yeah.
put another one out on this Friday. Hopefully it goes all right and see if it has any legs and grows from there.
That's it.
I'm keen for it.
Legs. It's getting there. Hey, Checkman, just before we get into feedback, though, we've canned Palmy Review for a few weeks.
We've
We
put it
have
on
been
ice.
slacking. We have
Not
been
slacking, but we have had no funds in the bank
Yeah.
accounts.
That as
We are
well.
unemployed and we are
Palmer's-
trying to pay $30 a week for Palmies just to review for
I wasn't going to
podcast.
mention that, but
Just quietly, Palmer's getting ridiculously expensive, so that's why we cannot afford
do you
them.
just call it a Palmer?
He's back.
It's a Palmer.
It's a Palmer.
Probably
Well,
so.
you say wherever you are.
I do a little bit of flip-flapping. I'm Palmer. I'm not too fussed about how you say it. I do a bit of wishy-wash. I can go either way.
Parmigiana. Parmigiana.
See, my
Wherever it is on the board, I think that you just
that's
we
fair. I
accept
mean,
local terminology.
Embrace the culture, man. Embrace it.
If someone says Palmy, I'm not offended, but you're wrong.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm not offended, but you can get fucked.
No offense, but
No thanks, but
Now, the reason I bring up Palmy Review is a fellow member of someone who records a podcast here by the name. We won't say his name, but he.
Daniel Gorringe.
It's, I was
Dan
gonna
Dorridge.
say it's similar to Smorridge. he has been doing a Palmy Review, and it's boiling my piss, check man. It's boiling my bloody piss.
he's stepping on our toes.
He saw we went cold on the Palmy review, and he's decided to heat it up himself.
Slithered his little long body
It's
in
not
there,
fair. It's
and
not
he just
fair. We
got
put the Palmy leftovers in the fridge, and he went and helped himself to them before we could wake
that's
up.
disgraceful.
Well, Flanas, we haven't done a Palmy review this week. We haven't done it for about 6 weeks. We're just pissed off that Dan Gorringe is doing them now.
Pinched them off you.
Give us a suggestion, because next week we're going to do our Palmy review again, and wherever you say is good, we're going to go to. So what's your best Palmy or Palmer? Where do you normally go? What should we try out?
Oh, there's some
We got paid this week, so we can finally afford one.
There's some good ones. If you want, you just like your classic sort of RSL Palmy. I like the Malvern Vale. That's a nice.
Malvern
little-
Vale.
that's
Yep.
Malvern
Nice
Vale
little-
RSL, note that down, Trey.
Yeah, okay,
Not
got
bad.
it.
Sports
Malvern
bar in there.
Vale.
They do a decent little Palmy chips and pot sort of deal. I think on a
Yep,
Monday,
love that.
Tuesday.
Love that.
And also the Terminus in Port Melbourne. That's pretty good. Don't mind that one as well. There's a lot of good Palmers around. Yeah.
Which one should we try? Tell us. We'll go there.
So if you had to have one chicken parma and you're not allowed to have any more, this is your last one. You can have it for free. Where are you going?
Probably because it's my local, I don't have to go very far to get it. The Malvern Vale.
Yeah,
I don't
Vale.
like down there.
We
You know,
should
bet
go
on the
down.
dogs. You can. You know.
You're talking our language now.
Dan Gorringe, we're coming for you. We're going to Malvern Vale RSL and we're going to shut down your segment. We're going to overtake it.
If I see him at the Malvern Vale, I'll spew up. I'll spew up.
I'd watch
Gatekeepers,
it
we
back,
might have to
brother.
bleep out this the RSL for the podcast edit and we'll re-edit it later.
Yeah,
once we've
because
done
he
it.
will steal it. Just guys, just watch your back, brother, because I'm on you. If you're one step in front of me, I'm 5 steps in front
Guys,
of you.
if you're
brother.
listening,
I
we're
wouldn't
going to
worry
Crown
about
Casino for a Palmer.
it. Yeah, we're just gonna go to like my mum's kitchen and have a parma. So you meet us there, man.
Okay, we've got feedback. Shrey, we've brought it back.
We're back.
Checkers put it on us last week, and we've delivered.
Yep,
we've
I'm feeling good about this one, and it's a big one, and it's good.
It's big and juicy.
Yep,
Big and juicy like a nice
Big-
parma at the
big-
Malvern Vale.
we'll be there.
We will be there. Hey, Checkman, you were talking to me during the week. You were coming up with crazy ideas. And Sheffield Shield and a first date. You've got to give me some context here, mate.
You know the context. The context is I got a Tinder match for the first time in a long time.
Been a half few months.
We've moved to Melbourne. I don't know any females over here. All I do is know Riley Shrey in my kitchen cooking up 2-minute noodles.
Man,
I get to look at his delicious pins every morning.
They're nice.
But with the Sheffield Shield returning, it was at the MCG the other week. It's at Junction Oval this week. Woman has messaged me, would you like to catch up? I'm racking my brain, don't know much about Melbourne. I haven't left the suburb of Richmond.
No, we have not.
I know the Rising Sun Hotel.
Great.
I know Producer Studios.
Can't come in.
I know
Jethro's
Jethro's Canteen. I go there 5 times a week for a coffee. I've just doxed myself. People are going to be waiting out there for me now. They won't.
No, they
But I'm thinking, what can I do in Melbourne? Flanas, need your opinion here. I've asked her, do you want to go watch a Sheffield Shield on Sunday?
Got some balls.
Yes.
But no, I love it. Look, I would do the same thing. What better day could you have than going and watch Will Pukowski and Marcus Harris and Matt Short bat? Pete
Exactly.
Hanscom?
That's what I've said.
Right,
And
that all
I've
day.
asked my partner, and she said she'd rather watch paint dry. And I've been told that I can't. I'm sleeping on the couch from now on. So, look, she doesn't agree.
Mitch Perry steaming
I
in,
told her, I
back
said,
of the
Miss
lamp.
Perry's bowling them around corners. She said, I don't even know who that is. So, yeah.
We put it to vote. We put it to vote on the Instagram. Is it acceptable to take a first date to the Sheffield Shield? Yes or no? We put it on our Instagram, the Ressies, we put it on Marmalade, and then Jim in Adelaide put it on anything as content. 91% people said yes.
And
there we
rightly
go.
so.
And if you look at our analytics of following, 91% of people that follow us are male. So
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Well, let's just have bloke dates down to
Yeah, let's just-
Sheffield.
who wants to come to Sheffield Shield with me? Because
Oh,
I
mate,
got stood up.
We'll go. Yeah, we'll
I'll
go.
go. I got both my hands up.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Hey.
At
I'm
first, she
coming
said
double.
yes. She said, I'll come down to watch the Sheffield Shield. The weather was great. I was pumped. I had
Was
an
it
early night
tomorrow?
on Saturday. The boys went out for cans. I was like, I'm not going out for cans. I'm going
Yeah.
to the Sheffield Shield for a date tomorrow. Woke up in the morning, got stood up. No Sheffield Shield for me. I watched it at home on KO. Too embarrassed to go down there by myself in case.
How dare you do that to Checkers?
Yeah. Well, I had a list of other things. So I had this other list on my phone of like other ideas. And it was like maybe you could go laser tag.
Laser tag's good.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah,
It's a bit hot and sweaty.
Not as
Yeah.
good as the
Bit of-
Sheffield Shield.
Not as good as
but-
Sheffield Shield, of course, but you do get a little bit perspirated.
Could go to the library and get 15 minutes of internet time.
Yes,
yeah, that's
good.
good. You can use that 15 minutes to watch the Sheffield Shield.
Yeah. Yes.
Or just play cool math games for kids. But
Yeah, and one of the great old times.
And then my only other option was just go to the Riser and hang out with Shrey. So that was it.
I'm
That's all I
there a
got.
lot, so yeah, you could just
Sheffield
hang
Shield
out with me.
hit number 1 on the list.
Yeah, easily. Oh,
Roz is a good date.
It's a good, it's a good date.
if you get a palm there, you get a piece of bread. So
Me and Will go
that's
for
romantic.
Riser dates all the time.
Yeah. we're locals in the Riser.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I mean, I'd take any date to go watch Fergus O'Neill charging and bustling.
Oh, jeez.
40 over spells. Todd Murphy at the other end, just tweaking him down. I mean, I don't have a girlfriend, so that's maybe have a part of the reason why. 'Cause
Well, if any blokes are
I'd
listening,
try
you
and
now
take
you
it.
now
Yeah.
have the secret to success.
Yep.
You can go away this week. You can get on Tinder. You can hit up all your matches. You can say Tasmania versus WA is coming up for those people in Perth. For the people in Queensland, you've got Queensland versus Redbacks coming up in a few weeks. You can set the dates
Renshaw
in.
versus Dan Drew.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, I will get my girlfriend to a Sheffield Shield game.
City Power Bank Oval.
I will get her
You
down
and the
Junction Oval,
missus.
and we'll be a 5-star meal on the plastic table with a red velvet.
Can I be the
cover.
waiter?
You can be the waiter. I'm getting her down to a Sheffield Shield game.
I was speaking to Jim back at Adelaide about it, and he wants to do speed dating on the Adelaide Oval Hill.
I mean, get him down.
Oh, jeez.
No,
Get
we
him
actually
down
should.
for
We
it.
should all go on a group date when Victoria play South Australia.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Lock it in.
That's something
done.
I'll
we
watch
should
Jamie
do.
Thornton rip him down.
We
Have a
got a
little
crowd.
picnic.
Let's put a public event on. Let's come down and watch Shrey's first date at the Sheffield Shield. We'll get a public audience in for this date.
Let's break the Sheffield Shield attendance
Yeah,
record.
let's do it.
There's
This-
going to be a
sometime this
viewing
year-
party.
Sometime this year, we're breaking the Junction Oval attendance record
Yeah.
for the Sheffield Shield.
Done. That is a fantastic idea.
Where's Agar to Will Pekoski and Shrey's date?
We'll finally get a Mexican wave going at the Sheffield Shield.
Oh,
There's a lot of chat about Sheffield Shield.
and I like it a lot.
I love it a lot. Unfortunately, we're going to have to steer away from it, but we've got
Yes,
some
we could.
questions from a few listeners. Now, first question. Bonnie Louise, I hope it's Louise. If you could drink one drink for the rest of your life and it can't be chalky milk, what would it be?
Jack, this is a tough one.
Don't say water, that's boring.
No, that is boring.
Fine, I won't say
What do you
water.
guys?
Because I don't drink water. I can't remember the last time I had a glass of it.
What do you reckon, Checkman? You go first. I'm stewing on one.
I'm going to go vanilla Coke.
Good call. That's a very good call.
Very handy.
Maybe even like the diet version. Just because I
Coconut
feel like if
sugar
I just
vanilla?
had to go vanilla Coke, my teeth would fall out. So
and you'd get a bit more
and
pudgy.
yeah, like less sugar and yeah, maybe Pepsi Max vanilla or something like that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
As a Victorian, you got to go with the oat milk latte.
Yeah. Oh, coffee's a good answer.
Don't get Shrey started on this. We roasted him today at the coffee shop.
mate.
What did you order at the coffee shop today, Shrey?
I got an iced dirty chai.
Iced dirty chai.
I thought that I wanted a bit of chai. Chai latte is a fantastic beverage, but I was also a bit flat, so I need a bit of caffeine. And what gives you caffeine? The dirty part of the chai.
It's
So I thought
we
there's
had
nothing wrong with
Kate
that.
at McDonald on a few weeks ago, and I think his coffee order is normally like a half strength decaf iced almond latte.
Yeah, that's.
Too many
I'm
syllables.
not that complicated.
Too
Yeah,
many
no.
So
syllables.
you're an oat latte.
Oat latte guy, but
So you're
I don't have
lactose
the-
intolerant, or
No, I just don't mind the taste of oat milk.
Yeah.
Right? It's all right.
I've been saying this for a long time. I think oat milk's better than regular milk in coffees.
oh,
In
dangerous.
coffees.
That was
Oh,
a dangerous
In
sentence.
coffees,
I don't
regular
mind.
milk I have
It's a
with my
good shout.
cereal, I have with everything else. But oat milk in a coffee, it just hits different, I think.
I used to be a kid that would have soy milk. I had soy milk with everything
Soy
up until
milk?
I was about 12, 13 years
Was that a
old.
Mrs. Taylor, your mum? Was
No,
that her
like,
doing, or you were just
I first had full cream milk and like threw up and shat everywhere.
Oh, so you were lactose, and you've gone reverse lactose.
Yeah, I've gone reverse lactose and now I'm
Okay.
like, full cream
That's-
skim milk and everything.
He's converted.
I might. We need to
But-
research that because I'm not sure how that
but-
makes any sense.
Here's a good little snack I used to have, and it's why I put on heaps of kegs in high school: soy milk and cornflakes.
Oh, that's classic. That's
That hits different.
It's like, here's a top industry secret: cornflakes and milk.
Hey man, no one's.
No, I didn't survive with that stuff without that over in India. We wouldn't have got through the month. I reckon.
Yeah,
That was
jeez.
very vital.
I
No
wanted to
one's-
come up with like some sort of like. Remember we had Jara on. He went with the corn chips and the yogurt.
I thought you were going to say it was like a 7-ingredient list, like the
Yeah.
7 secret herbs
You're
and
gonna be
spices or
like-
something.
cornflakes,
I'm a
cocoa
simple
pops,
man.
Fruit Loops, but you've just gone cornflakes.
Will, what
and
would you
milk.
drink for the rest of your life?
beers.
Ah.
Left it open for a
Really
minute.
left
It's open for
I
it.
knew you always would do that.
Nah, to be completely honest, it would probably be blue Gatorade, no sugar, just so my like you say, my teeth wouldn't fall out.
Also,
Yeah.
don't mind a Bobby.
Yeah,
the Bobbies
That's
are-
one of those.
They
These
are
little
quite-
No
prebiotic
squat
ones.
over.
Yeah,
Nice
no
one,
squat
Coming
over.
soon now, Flanas.
Every time we drink one, it's in the office.
Thank you, Dylan. So
Yeah.
the lemon lime ones are unreal, but
It's no sponsor. Also, like these.
Very good.
we've had plenty
Cheers,
of them.
T-flip.
I don't even know. This would be tough. I think it is coffee, isn't it? It's got to be coffee, I think.
Coffee's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think just because it fizzed me up. Today I had a coffee and I thought
You were very fizzed
I
up.
was fizzed up. Probably also I sat on the couch and played FIFA all day, so I didn't do anything after the coffee. But
Will, you want to
My
hear
eyes
the
don't
next-
open if I haven't had 2 coffees.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Literally, I'd be sitting here like talking like this. I hadn't had a couple of coffees this morning.
Well, Jethro knows that
we
That's why we're broke.
can't live
80%
without
of our
coffee.
income goes to the coffee shop.
we buy 5 coffees a week. That's $25. That buys us a Palmer. We just choose the coffee instead.
Good choice.
Yeah,
it's good.
fair enough.
It's very handy. All right, Ryan Axe 23. Where has Shane been lately? Haven't been seeing him as much.
It's a bit stiff.
Question mark.
If I'm completely honest, I'm learning to love cricket. So as a junior, I didn't love cricket. So I have no idea about like what cricket's really about. Like Flanas just said, he loves cricket and it's his favourite thing of all time. I didn't have that. The first test I watched was in 2014. Like, I didn't enjoy cricket. So now that I'm playing it, I'll fall in love with it. I love it so much. So hopefully we do a bit more over.
I don't think you've answered the question though. It was where has Shrey been? You've been missing from videos.
Yeah.
What have you been doing? What have you been occupied by?
Well,
This is a real question, by the way. We haven't doctored this ourselves.
I know it's a real question.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been too occupied, but I have a partner. So I have a bit more of a work
batting
life.
partner?
No.
A cricket net partner?
I have a girlfriend, man. But just getting the work-life balance right. But now cricket season's in, I'm so keen to launch and just
He's
make
played
Saturday.
that with the straightest of bats. I've
It's
been
rock
learning to
solid.
love cricket. The
because
question
if I'm
was, where
honest-
have you been?
Travis Dean would love that front foot defence.
Yeah,
Just played
well,
on that one.
I've got to miss a bit. Let's move on.
I'm just trying to put on to the
I've been
cover.
loving cricket, but I haven't misses. But I've been loving cricket.
I'm trying to put one to the cover and I've been caught on the boundary. So, look, what can you do?
All right, last just road question. Kanga Blake, can we get an update on Checkers Hammy? Now, obviously, touching on the fact that on the weekend in the thirds when we went up, you cooked yourself.
I didn't do much.
No,
Yeah.
but you cooked yourself in the field.
Yeah, faced 5 balls. Got demoted down the order. Didn't get a bowl. And
Shocked.
chasing a ball at fine leg and trying to impress Will with a slide throw, which I haven't done since about year 9 cricket. We used to practice them every game, every training, slide throws.
Yeah.
Because we had a baseball coach as our fielding coach. You slide on the knee, and as you're sliding, you pick it up and throw it back in with the pivot twist. And I was like, I can do this still. And I went to do it, and my knee just plugged in the ground and the hammy tore. So
Far out.
things we learned. We're now going to need a sub fielder this week, I think.
Yeah, we're going to call down a few mates because you might need a runner while you're batting.
I was struggling
You're in
out there. It's a little
strife.
bit better today, but yesterday when I went to the coffee shop, Caden hit me up, said, come down to Jethro's. It's not that far from our house, probably like a couple hundred metres. I'm walking down the street and a 90-year-old man with a stroller got past me. Overtook me. Put the indicator on and overtook me on the
dear.
street.
You were at all sorts yesterday.
I was holding onto the fence at that point, just trying to get to the coffee
You're
shop.
sliding. I was slid for 10 years.
Yeah.
I know. You just put the foot out. and
Some
if
of the
you
boys
miss
at our team just put the foot out.
I don't know
just
what I was
kick it
singing,
or-
because at footy, I don't put my head over the ball. I don't go into the con. I know better. I'm like, if I do that, that's an injury. That means weeks off footy. In cricket, I was like, looking at Will at fine leg. I was like, well, just Willie. So, I mean, I don't know where it's at. We have been icing it and been putting DP and everything on it, but see how it pulls up.
We'll put him to the fitness test. We'll see if he can
Yeah,
get
we'll
up
get some
this
few
week.
run-throughs. We'll get someone out
No
here.
run-throughs. I don't do them to begin with.
We'll get a physio down and we'll sort it out.
Flanas, you ever done injury?
Yeah, I stopped playing footy when I did my calf. I was just like, nah, I'm not playing.
They're a hard one.
Thirds anymore.
Yeah.
They are a hard one to come back from too.
Hated it.
Yeah, I haven't done anything.
Because in the professional sense, like when you play AFL, the doctor knows best. But when you're playing thirds, like you're like, calf feels good today. Calf feels alright. I got out of bed. I was injured it 4 days ago, but I got out of bed. It feels pretty good. And then you go for the 4 paces of sprinting. You're like, done again.
Yeah.
4 days later, starts to ease up. Done again. It's like there's like the doctors in the AFL clubs. They just know best. They're like, no running for 8 weeks.
And the 6-year-old bloke that's the physio at the local footy club's got no idea.
Put some deep heat on it.
Thanks, mate. It's off the bone.
I guess it's similar to the cricket in a way. It's just like as soon as you get that first injury, it's like, nah, I'm out. You start
Yeah.
doing commentary instead of
Doing the
playing
scoring.
anymore.
The scoring.
Yeah, like the scoring in the cricket. It's
Exactly.
like, yeah, nah, I'm not playing.
Just self-preservation.
Yeah.
Shrey, what's the topic of this week's third part of feedback?
Mate, we're looking at red flags on the cricket field.
I don't mind this one. I saw this
Yeah,
go
I
up on the
do like
Instagram
this a lot.
story. I asked a question out there.
We've been sent in by some listeners.
What is a red flag of the cricket field? Like, what? Can you give us a bit of insight for those
I
who
would
maybe
say
don't know? Like, I know red flags in the
Yeah.
dating game.
I would
like-
say, well, should we describe a red flag
Should we-
first?
Give us a red flag.
Your cricketing red flag.
My cricketing red flag is the bucket hats, but the floppy ones. Not I like a Warrior, but I don't like a bucket hat.
Yeah.
Not really. Doesn't really spark my
Okay,
interest.
that's-
Doesn't feel like there's a lot of sun
Like Jack
protection.
Russell from England back in the day, if anyone remembers, he used to have the floppy grey nickels.
Yeah,
Terry,
I feel like
the
there's
Terry
no.
Toweling.
You wear the Warrior for sun protection, and the bucket hat doesn't even do that. It just like sort of hangs
But
there.
you're a big sweater. The bucket hat would do you a lot of good.
Yeah, no, I think that the black cord hat I've got on is alright. Yeah, the bucket hat doesn't do it for me. That's my red flag.
Fair enough. So we're looking for some stuff that maybe irks you on the cricket field. Flanas, what do you got?
There was a guy I used to play school cricket with, and every week he'd come out. You know, you got your box and you put it inside your pants. This guy used to come out with like the jock strap box, and he'd wear it on the outside of his whites
In an actual game.
in games. And he'd have
In the nets,
Oh.
completely
In
fine.
In the nets, fine.
Yeah, but no,
the
not on
game?
the day. He's out
Jockstrap
there opening
box.
the batting, and he's got like this.
Was the
He's just there telling the bowlers, I'm ready. If you want to hit me, I'm ready.
Aim.
How hard is it to hit your length when you got
Yeah.
that staring at you?
yeah, I don't know.
that's-
That is quite gross.
That's criminal. I've never seen it before, but if I did, I'd be chirping on the field. I'd be sledging. So that's
yeah,
fair.
that's absolutely fair. Ugh.
Well, there's a few more red flags. From
Will, you
some
haven't got a red
listeners.
flag. He's given up on it. I want to hear
I'll
Will's.
give you my red flag, but I was going to jump into them. My red flag is helmets that don't really match like your club colours.
Yep.
Okay,
So
fair
Don't like
enough.
it.
there is one, I don't want to name names.
I know who you're talking about.
But there is a guy at our cricket club who plays in the first 11, and sensible colours for the yellow and black that we wear. Navy helmets I'm okay with.
Yep.
Black helmets I'm okay with. Green,
Green
it's a dark colour,
So that's okay.
so it's okay. This guy wears a red helmet,
Yeah.
and it just
I don't
boils
like
my
it.
piss a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a
massive
huge fan of the
it.
different coloured helmets. It would be funny if it was, say, a Melbourne Renegades helmet, and he
Melbourne Stars.
just picked it up off maybe like Marketplace, maybe Kay Richardson selling off his old helmets, and you picked it up, but he's just wearing a basic red helmet.
Random red. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to have some sort of club colours. When I played for Ressies, our colours were green, blue, and yellow. And there's only a tiny little bit of yellow on it. But I used to wear a yellow helmet and got away with it. I feel just because
Yeah,
That's
it had
fair.
that
Well,
little bit of
it's
yellow.
in your colours.
It's in the three colours,
If
play
you're
on.
not wearing a coloured helmet, it has to be black or blue. Like that's truly black, blue,
Yeah.
or green.
Black,
You get
blue,
away
or
with.
green. Yeah, and pretty much everyone wore black, blue, or green. I was sore thumb in the yellow helmet, but at least there was a little bit of yellow in the club logo. But
Yeah.
no, never red.
No,
Yeah,
not at
not
all.
for me.
Checkman, do you have a red flag before we get
No,
into
because I'm the opposite. I create red flags for everyone. So
Yeah.
my red flag is traditionalists.
We're
I
fair
hate
enough.
the traditionalists at cricket. I hate people who are so traditional in the fourth grade and just like act like we're playing Test cricket for Australia because
Yeah,
we're
not for me.
legitimately either 7 years old, 13 years old, or degenerate blokes in their late 20s. So none
And
of us
really,
need to be traditional
We're
about
just
what we're
having
doing.
fun, aren't we? So,
Yeah, I hate when people take it a bit seriously, maybe.
The superstition sort of thing, and they
Yeah.
get a bit shirty
Yeah.
when you do things that are
Yeah.
against superstition. That
Yeah.
happened over in India. Cam Green was like heading towards his first ton ever in the fourth test, and like he was on like 95 or something, and we got up and moved seats, and this Aussie guy behind us, like this old fella who's real superstitious traditionalist, was like, sit back down in your seat, you're not allowed to move, Green's in the 90s. And we're like, mate, like he's getting real aggro at us, and we're like, mate, we'd go and get a glass of water. Like,
It's,
It's real hot
it's
over here.
45 degrees in Bangalore. I think I'm going to get a glass of water, brother.
the air quality is a bit of smog around the ground.
Flanas
Like,
there
no.
weltering away. He's literally like lost 40 kilos of water. He's just sitting there
In the grub's
melting.
blazer as well, you have to keep wearing the
Get Green's just shouldering arms.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so
I don't like that
I
either.
don't like traditionalists either. It's
Nah,
too
doesn't
much
do it
for
for
me.
I feel like this question is maybe a little bit directed at what I did on the weekend. So that's
Yeah,
fair.
That's fair.
Well, we asked the listeners to send in some red flags, and there are a few that are targeted at us. So, boys, strap yourselves in for this one. First one is blokes who wear black shoes with whites.
Agree or disagree?
It's fair enough, but in fourth 11 cricket, because I'm.
Should we maybe play this as a first 11 because I don't think
Okay.
we should play as because
Yeah,
fourth 11 cricket is outrageous.
if you play in the
it's
first,
outrageous.
so
All of these can happen in the fourths.
yeah. So first 11, what division are we looking at? Does any
Oh
first
no, just
11?
playing first at a club.
Just playing first.
Yes.
Like a good
Yeah.
level of cricket. I feel like in the first you need to have white shoes. I remember the first time I got shoes and they had yellow on them. Maybe like a Nike tick back in the day where Adidas did a yellow version. It was like predominantly white, but the Adidas logo was all splashed over in yellow, and I wore them back in like under 16, like
Yep.
Div 1, whatever, and got rinsed by the club coach.
Jeez.
Like
Jeez.
just rinsed at cricket training. Because he's like, what are these? Like, and it was only just the logos, but like that was where it was at traditionally.
Yep.
So maybe it's moved a fair bit in the
the
last
f-
few years, especially with T20 cricket. But like,
Sort of similar if like if someone's wearing like a coloured shirt and everyone else is just wearing full white, it's just like you're the sore thumb sticking out with the coloured shirt or the black shoes with the whites. Like,
Yeah.
you want to look uniform as a team.
Yeah.
You go out there.
I think
there,
if
you wanna
you're
look
playing in the
together.
ones, you got to be looking the part. So put the white shoes on, I reckon.
Yeah.
The thigh pad on the outside of your whites.
that's a fine.
That's
at most
similar to the
clubs.
jockstrap thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's not.
not it.
Because how hard is it just to pull your pants down and put it on? Like, it's not
I
difficult.
love pulling my pants down.
We know, but
We
it's not
know
hard to
that.
just drop your pants down to your knees and just put it on. Also, it stops you from using your left hand or your non-predominant hand and like unvelcroing it while you're batting. So I think it's a win-win having it under the pants.
I've seen someone wear the aero guards outside. You know, the
Oh,
full body,
yeah.
like the in and out,
jeez.
like the whole like
Yeah.
one piece kit.
Yeah.
That's an even stranger look. You think a thigh pad on the outside is a strange look? Wait, if someone comes out in the full aero padding, like the full body round thigh padding.
If you do it at training,
Play
just
on.
over your shorts,
Yeah.
play on. That's a fair bump. But if you're wearing your whites, like, commit to it.
no.
Also, feel like at a certain grade you get to an arm guard's no longer acceptable.
That was a question. We got that, a few of them. I've cut them down. There was a lot of
Yeah.
arm guard questions.
No.
But I haven't seen it for ages. I haven't seen an arm guard out. And
I wore an arm guard once because we were playing a kid that bowled 120 kilometres.
That's
and
fair.
in under 13s. And
Yeah, fair.
I wore it to face one ball from him. And I got hit on the glove.
I have a
so
mate
was
back
like,
home in Adelaide that religiously
thankful.
wears his arm guard. He plays ones in Adelaide, so he's a decent cricketer, but he religiously swears by his arm. But
like a
one
Caleb
arm
Daniel
guard.
operator. Just
Yeah, just
grew
swears-
up doing it. And
Yeah,
maybe,
just swears by it. I mean, I think that's okay, but I think if you put
I don't
it
think it's
on-
okay. It's
You
not
don't
okay.
like
I'd be
it?
chirping it. If it came out, I'd be chirping it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You'd be-
certain grade and certain wheels, like you said, 120 or
Yeah.
playing first grade, yeah, fine. But if you're down in the lock 9,
Yeah.
not the arm guards needed.
I don't
Nah.
think it's going to bounce up that high. Bowling with a hat on.
You know what I noticed? A lot of the girls in the WBBL bowl with their hats on because their ponytails
Very
through the
fair.
back.
Yep.
It's very
That's
fair.
okay. If you're playing in the ones, mate, just take it off. Like you're playing sports, your hair's gonna look crook anyway.
A hairband while you bowl is acceptable because
The
it's
hairband, not
it's
the-
keeping it
not
I
the
was
nice.
Stewie
going to wear a
Broad.
bandana this week.
I don't like
Yeah.
the Stewie Broad, not
I'm
for me.
all for it. Bring it out.
But I don't mind the little thin black headband, the Novak Djokovic sort of one.
The Zamps
Cristiano
champion.
The
Ronaldo,
Zeps,
what is it?
Yeah, the
soccer
Ronaldo
headband.
one.
Yeah.
But the big
Cristiano Ronaldo just wear a headband,
Back in the-
brother.
back in the day,
back in
you
the
see.
day, he
Back in
did.
the day.
But the
back in
big
the
thick
day.
white one, not for me.
Fizzy bubbly, not for me.
Not for me.
All right, next one is taped up helmets or hats. So you've taped up a logo to cover the old logo.
This
for
is
you.
directed at someone in particular here.
Yeah, this is directed at me.
You
so
did it on the weekend and it got in our vlog.
I
And
did it on. I've done it 2 weeks in a row now because I don't have a club hat. and-
None of us do. We've been
And
repping some outrageous hats.
I wear a Foster's black corduroy hat.
You were in the Vic cricket.
I wore a Vic
Yeah.
cricket hat. I might wear this week. I might wear the Chocky
Nice
Milk
chocolate Nippies
Nippies
hat.
hat.
But I like to be sun smart, so I wear a wide brim, and the only wide brim I own is my St Peter's Cricket Club wide
Yep.
brim from
Yep.
back home. So put some tape on it because I'm like, well, the blue logo's just
It's not in unison.
it's not.
I don't
it's
mind
not
that.
it. And then yeah,
It just looks
copped
lazy
heat
for me.
it.
Wide brims are like $12 at
Yeah.
Rebel Sport. Like, no, I know we've got no money, but if I was in the opposition or if I was higher up in the club and I saw that roll in, I'd be like, come on, man.
I think one of the
That's a
boys.
bit-
But guys, remember we're pretending to be a ones team.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
I
they'd have
think-
money. They'd have some cash.
One of the boys who flew from England that plays for our cricket club in the ones, his helmet is taped up. And
Because
I'm
he
not sure.
plays for Lancashire.
Yeah, I think it was Lancashire. Yeah, so that is, I think, okay.
Oh, if you're playing in the force, I'd be repping that real proud.
Yeah, my mission. I think our mission as a team is I want one helmet that we share, and it has to be a Big Bash team's helmet. That's what I want. I want to wear a coloured helmet
What
while
if-
I'm playing.
What if we?
So what about like a West Indies or something? Like
Yes,
an
I
international
just-
helmet?
What team would it be if it was Big Bash team? Which one would you go
Oh,
for?
you'd be rooting to go with the Stars, wouldn't
The
it?
Stars
Stars
is
or
out there.
Renegades?
The bright
Yeah.
green.
Do the strikers have like silver in their helmet?
They-
They've got the blue, but they have like this reflective silver.
Yeah,
that
I
I've
think
seen.
so, yeah.
That'd be rare because I feel like the sun shining off it and just like it would really stand out if it was one of those
One of
reflector
the
helmets.
blokes there at fine. They got something. Could
Yeah.
be really crook.
Most of the blokes are fine, like are already blind.
Yeah,
so.
good point actually.
Are they still going to rock with those very like glossy looks in the Big Bash? Are they?
I think so.
Because
yeah.
walking out in the fourth with one of them will look putrid.
No,
but I
like
love every minute of
Yeah.
it. The last one we have got batting without a helmet. So just naked on the head, no hat.
No
as
hat, no helmet. Not.
I was
playing.
actually going to do that this week potentially as well. If I didn't wear the Nippies hat, I thought it'd be okay.
Heat's the factor there. If it's really
Yeah.
hot, I'm not wearing a helmet because I sweat up.
Yeah.
real
In the
bad
fourth
anyway.
grade, you're not facing anything dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
That's right. Yeah, if it's rapid, then of course
You're
have the
cold
lid
for
on. Take
Yeah.
safety. You don't want to get hit in the head. It's,
But
not
yeah,
good.
no, I think
But-
playing if you're not wearing a helmet, if you're not facing anything above 110,
Yeah.
no need for the helmet. I don't think. And it's your choice. If you get hurt, your own fault. So, I'm not a
Oh,
red
no, I
flag
think
for
you
me.
should be a little bit safer than that. But if it's hot and there's a spinner bowling and he's not bowling anything
Yeah.
dangerous, and don't
You
wear
can
it. That's
call- you
fine.
can
You don't
call for
have
the
to
hat.
wear it, but
Glennie Maxwell calls the hat. I'll call for that too.
I called to Shrey on the weekend at drinks. I said, once I get past this quick bowler, can you bring the hat out to me?
Yeah.
3 balls later, I was out. So
Yeah, so-
thank God I didn't.
so that
embarrass
cricket
myself
superstition
with it.
comes in.
He shouldn't have premeditated. He also called for. By the way, we were calls for gloves. So Will's gloves are in tatters, all sorts, big holes in them. Calls for gloves.
There's
I'm-
more holes than there is glove
Yes.
in his
I'm-
gloves.
So I'm in my big jeans. I'm in my jumper because I'm watching the cricket in the shade. Run through the sun, go into the rooms, grab these gloves, got to the boundary, set me back. Hasn't even thought about looking at the gloves. It's just sent me back. Said, "No, I don't want them anymore."
His spare gloves.
Yeah, I think that's a red flag.
His spare gloves just had just as many holes in them too.
I'd like to.
What was the cause for changing your mind?
Well, it was about 2 overs until drinks, and I thought, geez, I'm gonna look like an absolute tit on a ball here if I'm calling for gloves an over or 2 before drinks. So I sent him back, and then at drinks, Trey very nicely came out to me. He's like, I've got these gloves, but there's holes in them as well, so like I don't know what you want to do. And I just said, nah, stuff it. So at that point I was a little bit sunstroked.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a beverage.
No, but I still think that's a red flag. I think sending one of your good mates back with the gloves after he's busted his ass to get him.
Especially when you're playing thirds.
You could have at least called him out for a drink.
Yeah, I would have brought a drink out and the gloves, but you've got get me the gloves. Are you Davey Warner? Like, what's going on there, mate?
We're not out there long enough to call for gloves.
I might bat with no gloves on next week, actually.
That's not a good idea.
Well, how much can I get away with?
So the last bit of feedback is a very popular question we had. Well, very popular answer to the question we put out about red flags. And it's regarding Checkers' footwear that he was wearing on the weekend. Checkers, you're wearing Doc Martens on a turf wicket.
Yep.
On a turf wicket.
I don't have spikes, and in my head I thought sometimes like 2 wrongs make a right. So I was like, I don't have spikes, I'm going to play on turf. Maybe if I pick the most outrageous pair of shoes I have, they might just have grip on the turf.
Did they?
No. But I thought maybe that'd be my best chance, because if I know my runners are slippery, I know runners are slippery as on turf, and that was going to be the obvious choice. But I was like, if I pick something like outrageous, I almost picked my formal like suit shoes.
Yeah, you always want the RMs.
I don't have RMs, but I don't have enough money for RMs.
He's always gone the Kmart RMs.
Yeah, almost from the Kmart RMs. I went the Doc Martens, and I remember first ball went out to bat. I tried to play a hook shot, and I just almost fell over. I think we got footage of it. I literally almost hit the deck. Like,
he walks
slipped.
down the wicket to this young opening bowler and he drops one short and he goes to pull him, and you just see his front foot just slide out from
He's
underneath.
done a little bit of the crisscross applesauce. Your ankles have gone up ways, left ways. It was. I thought he dislocated both his ankles. I thought he was in some serious strife in the docks.
So we put it on the Instagram story for some feedback to see what footwear I should wear next week. We're back on hard wicket. I'll read out some suggestions we had, Flanas. I want you to pick. You picked the Palmy location. I want you to pick my footwear.
All right.
You're pretty much just deciding my life now.
A lot rides on you this episode, Flanas.
Next, you've decided where I can go on dates, what I can eat, what I can wear.
Living vicariously.
This is a real safety thing, though, as well. I
find safety in a man wearing a Vic Bush Rangers shirt, I'll tell you that much.
I trust my life with this man.
All right, so some of the suggestions on the DMs from the Instagram. Crocs.
I got the Crocs on now.
Swing flippers, gum boots, 10-pin bowling shoes, work boots, like steel caps.
Safe.
RMs, which I can't afford. Footy boots was a popular one.
Jeez.
Nike TNs, which I do have. Light up sketches, and then someone even said go out barefoot.
Okay, whoever said barefoot, you're just trying to kill the man.
Yeah, that's
Flanners had a suggestion. I didn't put it in the list, but Flanners did actually reply to the story, and he said thongs.
Yeah,
So,
thongs okay because this the
I
hard
don't
wicket,
know
the
if I can get
hard,
away. I feel like I don't have thongs. I'm getting
the
sent
hard
back.
wicket gets hot in the sun, so you can't go barefoot because the pups will be burning.
It's breathable.
Barefoot, thongs, sandals, Crocs. I think they all fall in that same category where the open toe thing is.
I feel like I'll
really
get sent
shit.
back off field.
Yes.
So Flanners,
I won't make you do that. I reckon the gumboots would be hilarious. Imagine going out in the gumboots.
I feel like because
Try to
if you
bat.
have to wear the long ones,
I reckon
twice,
you
Should I go barefoot in the gumboots so it was really sweaty and stinky?
or you have to do a shoey. Whoever makes the most runs Saturday has to do a shoey out of the smelly
Whoever makes-
gumboots.
Oh, no. That's getting so crook.
so here's a little challenge for
Yep.
it. So Checkers will wear the gumboots.
Yep.
Now, tradition we've made is Boxy is the highest scorer.
Yeah.
So you have
I've
to drink it.
seen you've done that. Why are you doing that to everyone?
We needed a tradition. We needed a ninth grade tradition. We needed to install something to the ninth grade because it was lacking some culture.
So when you
Boxies, though.
so when you top score, you do a Boxy. It's only just a little one. The person who makes the least amount of runs out of us has to do a shoey out of the gumboot.
I
think we should
really hope
make
I don't make it dark.
We
I'm
should do a weekly thing. We have to do a shoey out of whatever Checkers is wearing that week.
Yeah, people were suggesting that I wear a different footwear every week.
I like it.
Could get a little athlete's foot spono out of this.
Yeah, I would like that. Yep.
Gee
All right, so
whiz.
Flanners to go on the gumboots. I'll wear them this week.
Done. We'll get it. We'll go
Easy
to
done.
Kmart.
Right.
And maybe yellow and black You know.
Oh,
Yeah,
buy two pairs.
Paint some
Yeah.
racing
you could paint
stripes.
them.
Oh, I just do the sneaky at Kmart and rip one of the yellow ones off, one of the black ones off at time together.
That works for me.
All right, guys, the world famous, internationally famous.
Yep. Overseas famous.
to Richmond, famous to Victoria, famous to everywhere. The viewers at home tune in every week for this segment. Don't know if they do. We don't get much feedback on it.
No.
It's called Checkers Checkout. Flanas. Normally how it works is I go to the shops on my way to the podcast. I buy any item of food and Shrey and Will have to eat it and try it out.
It's been grim a few times.
Oh, we've had some pretty good ones.
First week
recently.
was chocolate birthday cake. I thought that was pretty good.
That
We
was
had
good.
some chocolate furry friends.
We had
That's all good.
Hot and spicy spam.
Hot and spicy spam was one of the bad
That
ones.
almost got us fired.
Lobster paste was a bad one.
That was terrible.
Last week was hot jerky.
That was okay.
That would have been alright.
I was frothing that. That was
And now
fine.
normally we don't get the guest on for this segment, but I want to change it up this week. I've been speaking to a good mate.
Sauce.
A
Good sauce.
a good sauce, not a tomato sauce or a
Not
barbecue
tomato sauce.
sauce.
It's a good sauce.
And he sent in, asked Flanas about the time he almost shit himself in India at the cricket and spent 3 days holed up in his hotel room, only eating LCM bars from there for the rest of the trip.
This is an old-time story, I believe.
I think I know who sent that. Thanks, Cheats. Yeah, no, well, I did have a bit of an upset stomach in Delhi. I was down for 2 days.
Delhi belly.
Yeah, real Delhi belly in Delhi. And
What do
yeah,
you reckon
didn't-
it was?
Probably the street food.
Okay, so
How Cheese explained it to me, he goes, we were being pretty conservative. We were eating at only like Australian recognised places. We're eating like stuff we recognise, brands we recognise. And he goes, Flanas was like a kid in a candy store on the street food. Everyone's going, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And he was like dancing around like on The Simpsons or something, just having a bite of everything on the street.
It's like the land of chocolate.
yeah, mate, I cannot blame you.
Like Augustus Gloop in the chocolate factory. He was Flanas in the streets of India.
Yeah, but I can't blame you. I know it would have smelled amazing down that street.
He almost
It's
drowned in the
insane.
river of
I've
curry.
Never smelled anything like it, and it was all different. And yeah, I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, get me in there.
All right, so basically what I've done here is I brought in a blindfold. And it is a special blindfold because there's a gather round scarf, which I thought was iconic to Flanas because he was the gather round
Jeez,
Guernsey.
I'll go
there's props to this Checkers Checkout.
These
And
never
I
gone
brought
this-
in the family box of LCMs.
Yes.
And we're going to do a challenge here today. Blindfold up Flanas. Willie's going to pass him an LCM, and you need to tell us what flavour it is. We'll see because he Cheats reckons you're a connoisseur of LCMs.
I do love LCMs. It's a staple every morning.
If I'm honest, mate, you don't
So
go out on
4
LCM.
different flavours, and Will's going to hand them to you. He's going to open them up so they're ready to go, and then you're going to taste them and see if we can get the flavours out of them. They're pretty different flavours, so I feel like you're on with a shot. Like we didn't just get like chocolate and then chocolate kaleidoscopes or anything. Like
What's your favourite flavour?
I do like the Kaleidos. I don't mind the banana choc one that they do.
That
not bad.
sounds up my alley as well. Here we go. I've got one here.
All right, first LCM
Well, mate,
coming
open
out
it up,
the
quick,
pack.
quick.
This is making me very hungry.
Yeah, I might dig into some after the potty.
There you are.
There we are.
All right.
Flanas.
Hold it upside down. I don't mind it.
Sorry, there's a mic there.
Well, that looks.
This is our first blindfold on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm not letting you blindfold me.
It feels like an LCM. I trust.
Yeah.
I trust you that it is an LCM.
That's the same flavour, Will. What's up? What do you reckon?
That is a banana chop, isn't it? Is that a banana chop?
Oh boy.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
taste any chalk.
You can name
Oh,
it at
no.
the end if you wish,
Yeah.
but you reckon? Just give us what you reckon that is first.
One more go.
Vanilla. Was that white chocolate?
White chocolate on the bottom.
White chocolate. There's no like choc chips or anything.
Nah,
in
nothing
Nah.
on there.
Fine, there's the mic again.
All right, should we ready for the next one?
Here's the next one. Put that one
Yeah,
down.
all right.
We'll come back to that one later.
Hopefully I
Here's
get
the
that
next
right.
one.
Well, that looks a treat, that one.
These all look like treats. I'm going to dig into. I'm lucky I got the family pack so we can have a few after
Yeah.
the pod.
They're smelling really
Might
good.
just have LCMs for dinner.
They're
Seriously.
smelling so good.
Here we go.
Cheats was knocking me, but he was asking for him. By the end of the show.
LCMs are goated.
That's the banana chop.
There we go.
Okay.
He's banged. That's a tick. That's a
That's
green
on,
tick.
That's on. Well, this is the first
That
one
is a
we've
green
left as a...
tick. He might come back to the first one. He might come back to it.
Left as a question mark.
All right,
Here we
next. Next one is coming in.
Number
the next
three.
LCM.
Number three.
LCM number 3 out of 4.
Looks good. There's no LCMs that look bad.
Right. That's chocolate.
Chocolate?
Definitely chocolate.
There we go.
Is there anything else to that?
You've
Is
nailed it. You've
something?
nailed it. He's got.
Choc.
That's another green tick. We've got
Bang.
banana tick, chocolate tick. The first one we're going to come back to at the end just for a confirmation. LCM number 4.
Right, so that doesn't feel like an LCM.
Looks good to me, mate. Looks good to me.
It feels different.
Get in your
Okay.
gob.
Not an LCM.
No, that is not an
This is-
LCM.
I think this is a little checkers stitch up here.
But I don't mind these either. These are those like fruit twisty twirls, like the
Yes.
the Uncle Toby's.
He's good. He's
twirly.
good.
Yes,
he's
got it,
good.
yes.
The Uncle Toby's Kellogg's K-Time twist.
There we go. And what's the first one? We'll head back to the first one quickly.
Oh, first one, yeah. Let's get a perfect.
Yeah,
four
there
from
it
four.
is.
Where
There it
Yeah,
is. The first
yeah.
one's there.
Right. So this thing. 3 from 3. Let's make it 4 from 4. Come on. What is that?
I've never seen this one before.
I think it's the chocolate that's going to throw you off.
I think
Yeah.
it's a new one.
It's like a white chocolate, vanilla chocolate, sort of.
I didn't
Go
grow up
back.
with this one. I don't think. Did you guys grow up with this one?
No, I didn't grow up with this one, but I
Wait.
feel like the chocolate on the bottom is going to put you off. When you read it, you'll be furious. When you find it out, you'll be furious because it's like it's there, but you just can't tell.
Is it caramel?
No.
Nah.
What's your final guess?
Final guess.
Final guess.
And then you can take the blindfold off.
Ah.
Or you can keep it on for the rest of the pod if you wish.
Final guess. Oh, so do my head in. It just feel like it's white chocolate, but that's obviously wrong.
All
It's
good. You can take
close.
the blindfold off. It was yogurt.
Yogurt.
Yeah, I've never
So
seen
annoying,
it.
isn't it? Because it tastes like chocolate.
Yeah, it tastes like white chocolate.
We gave you yogurt,
What the hell?
banana chocolatey, and then we gave you a K-Time twist because
And they are good.
With
We
the-
had it for a few hours.
we thought
Yeah.
we'd spice it up a little bit. They
No
are
jelly
delicious.
belly today.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
I've had
Yeah.
3 of them already. So.
Never had a yogurt one before.
We'll finish them before.
Oh,
we leave.
absolutely. These aren't seeing the front door. at
No,
all.
they are not.
That was Checkers Checkout. Shrey,
like that.
Shrey, you might have
Good
to indulge on.
Stray's
I'll have
on a
one after- I'll
diet,
have one
remember?
after- I don't want to mess
He's
up the
cutting.
audio.
He's cutting
cutting.
back a
Oh,
little
sorry
bit.
guys. I
cutting.
just don't want to mess up the audio with the rappers. I'll eat one later.
That's all right.
Trey's been losing weight lately.
Oh,
He wants to play in the thirds this footy
Yeah,
season.
trying to get the thirds instead of the fourths.
No, trim down, Trey.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate
Trim
it.
it down nicely. Hey, we're nearly at the end
Here we go.
of the episode. A little Movember update. Our team has hit 1.4k
Huge.
on the donations.
$1,433 when I last checked about 20 minutes before the pod.
There we
Unreal.
go.
So, thank you to everyone who has donated. We will go through all the donations that have popped up on the team, on the Ressies team.
Yep.
So, very much thank you to Peter Elliott, Jamie Morgan, Sean Dux, the big Duxy Damon,
Thank you, Duxy.
Dylan Gaffey, Declan Robinson, Christine Keeley.
Thank you, Christine.
from
Thank you
down
so
in
much.
Richmond City. Hayden Dassey, Trish Ciroli, Dan Soderstrom.
Thank you, Dan.
Our,
Yeah, photographer. He did
Oh,
the
thank
Thank
press
you very
shots.
much, Dan. He's a good man.
and Checkers' mum.
Thank you to Mrs. Checkers.
Mrs.
Thank you.
Checkers.
She also donated to my bank account this week because I was in the negs.
Yeah, Chase.
So we have had a special message from a man named Jesse Leone. Or
Yeah,
Leon?
he calls himself Jumanji Jesse.
Jumanji Jesse.
I liked that. That's a good nickname.
And each week, Jesse is pledging for the whole month of November
Yep.
that $50 for every Shrey wicket this season.
This is
I think
big.
he's offering $20 for a wheel jar or Checkers wicket, $50 for a Stray wicket.
There's an issue
Like
here.
that.
He also pledged, just for an update, $5 for every 6 and $2 for every 4.
Okay, that's a bit up my wheelhouse. An issue is here. I've decided to stop bowling.
Oh,
So
He's lost
unless
down on confidence.
yeah, unless the captain decides to, throw me in for the last few
for a good
dead
cause,
overs.
he should.
You know what will fix your
Yeah.
bowling? An LCM.
You're probably right, mate. You're probably all right. So
But we're only up to round 3.
Yeah,
We're bowling away already.
it's not looking good, mate. I'll tell you that.
He's bowled one over.
Yeah, for this cause, I will go back in the nets this week and I'll start working on it. So definitely, if every week I'll take $50. Very generous. Thank you, Jumanji Jess.
Next
We'll be
week,
on to
we'll
that.
read out all the names of people who donate as well to the Movember cause. We've also got Up now live is the auction site. We've got a few auctions up. So there's like a Buddy Franklin Hall of Fame Guernsey.
Yep.
We've got
Very
some
nice
kit
piece.
from the Fox Footy Longs kick.
Yep.
Some other stuff up there. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm eating too many LCMs. But that's up as well. We'll be putting all the funds from that auction into November. I think that wraps up our episode. With
That's us, is it?
Just
one more
before-
thing to plug.
One more thing to plug.
Here we are.
On the topic of Movember, boys, we've been blessed by our friends at Don Clothing, and we've got a very special T-shirt of the big man Sam Draper,
Draper.
Big Drizzly Drapes.
I've been missing him recently.
Just
I haven't
shaved
seen
off.
him.
Just shaved off his mustache from
Yeah.
November as well. He looks a bit different.
I saw
Yeah.
I saw his partner under the post was not loving his work.
But yeah, Big Drapes is raising a lot of cash from November, and I think he's teamed up with Don Clothing. He obviously does a 200 plus podcast in the same room that we're
Yep.
recording in.
Amazing cause.
So we're wearing the shirts to plug his campaign as well.
So
glorious
these
smile, isn't it?
T-shirts, all profits will be donated 100% to Movember.
Beautiful.
Every reshare of the post gets another $5 donated.
There you go.
They've already raised $500 for all the
Beautiful,
reshares of their
beautiful.
posts. So make sure you reshare in the post. The Draper tees will be out. I can't guarantee that they're not all gone at the moment,
Yeah,
but
cheers.
we're donning them at the moment,
We've got
and
some nice looking ones
God,
here.
they feel good.
Might have to get Sam to sign it next time he's in.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I'd love
Big-
to hang
big
this one up
Draper.
in my bedroom.
I'd love to get one of those.
Yeah, we might have to call up Don Clothing.
Yeah,
and
we'll see what
hook
we
up
can do,
hook up Flanas. But make sure you get onto the website, get yourself one of these. It's for a good cause. It's for a great man, Sam Draper,
Sam Draper.
and the great people at Don Clothing. Thank you very much for giving us these special T-shirts. Shade,
very
take us
blessed.
away.
Before we take us away, Flanas, thanks for coming on. We made
Yeah,
him
sorry,
a big
Flanas.
shout. We made him eat 75 LCMs
Yeah.
and a half a K Tom twist. We made him sit in the hot studio with a blindfold
sweating,
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
And he's bowling some leggies. Keep an eye on him. I've seen you got in the best figures the other week. I'll be keeping an eye on
Yeah,
Sorrento's
definitely.
play cricket.
We wonder if
100%.
there's some bowling, maybe some tutorials, some instructions how to bowl the Shane Warne flipper by the Flanners.
I'd love to do it. Whenever
Yeah,
you boys
we should
wanna
have a
go down
net.
to
We
that,
should
I'll-
definitely have a
Should
net.
definitely have a net, absolutely.
I'm just copying Warney. Just put the
Yeah.
Grip
it here, bang.
We'll give it a crack. But
Nah,
no,
perfect.
thanks for having me, boys. It's been amazing to be on the show. Love the show, and it's awesome to be part of it.
Fuck
Nah,
yeah.
cheers.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks again for listening, guys. Please follow us wherever you get your podcasts and rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Please hit the notification bell on Spotify so you know when our podcast gets posted. And that's been us for this week. Cheers.